you all and welcome back to our podcast about our COVID-19 VTC. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Serkarul. I'm the branch chief of the Force Health Protection branch of the NATO Center of Excellence for Military Medicine. For over 1 year, the MilMed COE had put great effort into assisting NATO and its partners in the management of the current pandemic, including VTCs on this topic. At last time, we'd like to give you a short summary about the last VTC and let you know what we are planning for the next iteration. The last VTC was held on the 24th of February and covered the topic Vaccination and Variants of Concern, News and Facts. We had very comprehensive national briefings of Poland, the Netherlands and France, letting us know about the current status of vaccination in their countries, the strategy of their governments, and also how military is involved in national campaigns, as well in what prioritization the soldiers will be vaccinated. These very useful briefings were followed by briefing by Great Britain and Italy, talking about the way of sequencing and the quantity and distribution of the different variants of SARS-CoV-2 and the variants of concern. All these very scientific and informative presentations were topped off with a short briefing about the perspective of private sector health security unit on variants of concern of COVID-19. This presentation gave a far beyond outlook on the current pandemic situation and also approaches health topics with a potential impact on the global community beside of COVID-19. All briefings led to a very good discussion between the briefers and the audience. Like last time, the audience was very interested in the strategy of the countries for getting their soldiers vaccinated and how the countries handle vaccination for soldiers abroad. The EU was keen on knowing how countries will get their embassy personnel vaccinated. During the discussion, we found out that most countries will rely on host nation support to vaccinate their soldiers stationed in a foreign country. Only one nation will repatriate their soldiers to get vaccinated in their own country. All nations will vaccinate their soldiers only with EMA or FDA-approved vaccines. In all countries, briefings, and well in those leading the discussion, soldiers going on a mission are in first line for receiving a vaccination, and for all soldiers it will be mandatory if they would like to be stationed abroad. Unlike last week, when only one country already started to vaccinate their soldiers, this week several other countries also reported on the start of the vaccination campaigns for soldiers. Most of the countries are relying on the vaccination the government are distributing and do not have their own stock of vaccine designated for soldiers. Talking about sequencing and the variants of concern, it was clearly seen that in most countries the new British variant was the most recognized in sequenced variant, followed by the South African one. There were different other vaccines in a very small amount mentioned. Great Britain clearly showed the very early implementation of a very innovative way to start sequencing in a very early state of the pandemic, so that is very understandable why the British variant was first recognized in Great Britain and not in another state. Great Britain is one of the only countries worldwide which already achieved to sequence 10% of the positive cases in England. Most of the other countries just started their sequencing program and are far away from the 5 to 10% range the WHO and EU would like countries to achieve. It was made clear in the last briefing that this lack of adequate genomic sequencing to support the surveillance led to a loss of a lot of COVID-19 clarity around the planet. So there's a lot of information we just do not know. Of course, we seem to do a lot of testing and reporting, and it's very important, but these efforts only touch the edge of the iceberg. And with this very new disease, there's a lot of information lost, as we are just not able to find it until now. But as experts assume, the next big wave should be around May 2021. We will find out by the height of that wave if all our surveillance and regulations and of course our vaccination strategies had been well implemented and should be followed. With this disease is still a long way to go and a lot to learn. As many times before, the VTC was again well received and honored by the audience, and the Force Health Protection Branch would like to thank all the speakers again for their contribution. The next VTC will be held on the 10th or 24th of March, continuing talking about the most reliable topics, most probably cover the area of outpatient treatment and the variations of the standard of care. We would be happy to welcome you at the VTC, and we would appreciate if you contribute with a presentation or let us know if there's any topic or special concern for you. I wish you a nice rest of the day and see you all at the 10th or 24th of March at the next COVID-19 VTC. Enjoy your day and goodbye.